I'm discovering so many new cool places that I never would have known about had people not suggested them to me for stuff like this. So Serpent Mound in Ohio, which by the way is right next to what's called a Serpent Mound crater from an asteroid hit that apparently is like hundreds of millions of years old, like 300 million years old or something like that. Crazy. So anyway, Serpent Mound is apparently, I ended up Googling aerial views so I could see what it looked like. And it's like a snake that has the tail coiled a few times in a spiral, and then it goes like a snake, and then it ends in a snake, what appears to be a snake head that is eating something that's round, like, I don't know, the world, an egg, your soul, I don't know. But so Serpent Mound in Ohio, what I got when I got there was there was a guardian spirit, a Native American guardian spirit, or indigenous, and I kept seeing people, like the mound had a lot of different purposes. It was very spiritual. It was a place for gatherings and rituals. It's where a lot of spiritual work was done. I keep seeing people walking. They started at the tail, and they would walk the entire mound like a walking meditation. And when they got to the end, they would stay within the circle, the thing that the serpent, either at the serpent head or the thing that the serpent head was about to eat, and they would go on a vision quest or into deep meditation, because it's like, it was kind of like a rite of passage. Like there's something going on in your life and you need guidance. You don't know what your next step would be. You're at a crossroads of some sort. So you go and commune with the spirit of the serpent, which is kind of like symbolic of life and the world to them, the people that created it. And you go on this vision quest, deep meditation, so that you can search for guidance on which direction to take next in your life. And it's something that was very private, and anytime anybody, and especially young people, like if they didn't know what they were going to do with their life, what job they were going to take on in their society, or about relationships, anything like that, they would go and they would commune with the Serpent Mound and figure out their next steps in life. I also see that it was used kind of like a what's the I can't think of the word. Sorry, I do that a lot. But anyway, like they would use it as a calendar. That's the word I'm thinking of. They would use it as a calendar, so that like depending on where the sun shone through the trees in the surrounding area, the sun would shine through a certain way in a certain angle, and they would use that as a calendar to know what season was coming up, what solstice or equinox it was. So it had it was very multi-dimensional, and it had many different functions. Multifunctional. There, that's the one I'm thinking of. Nothing spooky or scary going on there. It was merely a societal tool that was used both practically and spiritually. And the connection with the serpent is something I was curious about. And it's just, it wasn't their god or anything. It was just symbolic of life has many twists and turns. And you have to get to the end to figure out what your purpose is why you're here. And so they would go along that symbolic journey by doing a meditative walk along the Serpent, through all the curves and twists and turns, and then meditate at the end to find out what is my gift at the end of this journey. So, very cool. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay, I love you. Bye.